Hello, it is me. It is Stephanie, and let's get right into that animation. Okay, so one time, a few years ago during winter break, I was bored at home, cold, snuggling myself among the few blankets that I have. It was like 30 degrees, which if you're not in California, it's really cold for us Californians because we're used to like this really warm weather. So my mother then approaches me. She said, "I'm going to the store. Do you want to come?" And being the bored teenager that I was, I went. So then we went to the store, and it was around Christmas time, mind you. So there was like a bunch of like Christmas ornaments, snacks, vitamins, groceries, anything you could find in a store. And then as we get closer, as I was like going through the aisles, I see this like huge section of nothing but blankets. And these blankets were not any blankets. They were quality blankets. Like they were like fuzzy, they were my favorite color, they were warm, and they were nice. And mind you, so I see these blankets. I really wanted it because like it was 30 degrees, I was freezing myself, and a bird. And I was freezing myself, so I get the blanket. I tell my mom, I'm like, "Hey, yo, I want this blanket." And she looks at me, looks at the blanket, says it's nice, looks at me, looks back at the blanket, looks at the price. It was $30 for a blanket. My mother, who is very frugal, and like when I say very frugal, I mean this woman does not like to shop at a thrift store because she thinks it's too expensive. What? So she puts the blanket back down. She says, "I'm not going to spend $30 on the blanket, but if I ever see it on sale, then maybe it will happen." So then we just leave the store, never thought of the blanket again, right? And then fast forward a few years later to July. And July in California is not cute. It's 100 degrees, 110, 120 at the most, depending on where you live. And me being in my shorts and a t-shirt because it was very hot, just chilling in my room, and then I hear someone knocking on my door. And my mom, she comes in, and she's like, "I bought you something." And I'm like, "What?" She's like, "I bought you something." And I'm like, "What did you buy me?" And she's like, "I bought you the blanket you wanted." I'm like, "What?" "Mother, I don't need a blanket." She's like, "Well, why not?" And I'm like, "Mom, it's July, it's 100 degrees, like, thanks, but like, I didn't need this." And she looks at me, and she's like, "You ungrateful child. I did not raise you to be this way." I'm like, "Mom, I'm not saying," I appreciate that you bought the blanket. And she cuts me off. She's like, "Do you not want this blanket? There's other people on the other side of the world that are freezing, that can't eat." She's like, "You are so goddamn lucky." And she's like beating me down. And my dad, who comes down the hallway, hears my mother yelling. He like comes in, he yells at me. He's like, "Stephanie," he's like, "I do not work like 9 hours a day for you to give your mother this attitude. You apologize right now." I'm just like, what did I do? Like, I'm just chilling in my bedroom, and she's like, and I was like, "Don't lie, you ungrateful child. Just like other children who don't have any food to eat. They don't even have TV." And I'm like, what did I do? That's a story of how I almost got a blanket because my mother, seeing that I didn't want the blanket, went back to the store, returned the blanket, got her monies back, which it's okay right now because it's summer, and do I need a blanket? I don't think I do. So yeah, that's the story of how I almost got a blanket.